exist. Hey babes, I'm Miss Mila Rose and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have another informative video for you babes all about debt. And the question, is debt good or is debt bad? Stay right there to find out. So is debt good or is debt bad? I think it's really important to remember that there are actually two types of debt. Both good and bad debt do exist. If you're a little confused right now, don't worry. I'm going to explain, give you guys some examples of what good debt looks like, what bad debt looks like, and then I'm gonna go ahead and explain how you can achieve just acquiring a good debt and staying away from the bad debt, and also why good debt can be a good thing. So let's start with bad debt and what bad debt looks like. Bad debt includes anything that you want to obtain for yourself, for, I don't know, your appearance or just for fun that isn't going to improve your life or your career or your job or anything like that. And some examples of that include like designer clothing, designer jewelry, designer purses and bags and wallets, designer shoes, anything that's really expensive and name brand. I mean, of course, we all need shoes and we all need clothing, but we don't need to spend a fortune to look expensive to have an outfit on our body. It's okay to have these things and want these things, but what you do not want to do is put these items on a credit card that you won't be able to pay off by the end of the month. So if you've worked really hard and you put savings away and you say, I'm going to save this much money to buy this designer wallet or purse, that is completely okay. You worked for that, you earned that, you deserve that. That is your treat, your reward. It's for you because it came out of your savings. But if you're putting that on a credit card, and especially a credit card that you are not going to be able to pay off at the end of the month, if you put that item on that credit card, then you are indulging and you are going into debt on items that are luxurious, expensive, and not necessary to live and get by. Fancy cars, expensive, luxurious vacations. If you have to put these on a credit card, then that is essentially what bad debt looks like. You can save for these items, you can save for the vacation, you can save for the fancy car, and if it's coming out of your savings account, or if you're putting on a credit card and then you're transferring that savings to pay off your credit card at the end of the month, that is completely okay. But bad debt is when you can't pay that off and it's just acquiring and accumulating debt for these kind of things. Of course, there are many items that would fall under the category of having bad debt. These are just a few examples, but I hope you get the bigger picture. So that's what bad debt is. What is good debt then? Good debt generally falls as an investment into yourself or your business, something that is going to help improve you as a person or get you to the next level. It's kind of like a loan that's gonna pay off into itself anyway to pay it off, because it's going to improve you and your life and your business, your career. So it's an investment and it's gonna pay itself off in the future over time. That is good debt. And of course, the reason why I'm filming this video today is because I just did a video all about investments. And debt is a part of investments. And I can't fully speak on investments without bringing up debt. So that's why I'm kind of doing them back to back in this manner. So what are some examples of good debt? Good debt that are investment purchases can be a lot of things. It can be the camera that I'm filming with right now or the tripod. It can be a brand new camera lens. It could be lighting or the microphone that I'm using to record myself right now. Of course, this is going to apply for content creators specifically. Other things that can fall into this category include softwares, computers. These are investments and they're expensive investments and they're investments that you can pay off over time. These are examples of good debt. Other examples of good debt can include a business vehicle. You of course need a vehicle to get around from point A to point B to do the job that you're doing. So having a business vehicle, if you don't already have one, that is going to be essential and it is going to help pay off in the long run, even though it is such an expensive purchase. Now when I'm saying a business vehicle, I am talking about used vehicles. I am not talking about brand new luxurious vehicles. That is something that you should be saving money for and making that purchase if you can afford it with your savings. If it's going on a credit card, if it's going into debt, get a used vehicle, just something cheap that's going to work to get from point A to point B reliably. And another one are business trips. So vacations would be more so just to relax and unwind, have fun, something a little bit bougie and luxurious of a vacation that's not, you're not there to network, you're not there for business reasons, then that one is not going to be a good debt and you should take that from your savings. But if you are going on a business trip for networking or anything of that sort that's going to help you improve your business, collaborations, anything of that sort, then that is a good debt to have. So those are just a few examples of what good debt looks like, and also keep in mind that these examples are going to differ for everybody. Whatever your business is, whatever you do for your job, those specific good debt purchases are going to be very different and independently unique to yourself. So now that you know the difference between good and bad debt and some examples of each, how do you go about getting into debt safely and securely? Number one key thing to remember is do not take on any debt that you cannot afford to pay off. Personally, I would look at your monthly revenue and see the average of how much you're earning every single month and make sure that you can comfortably know that whatever you're going to be purchasing, you will definitely be able to pay it off in the long run, and that you're not taking too much debt on that you are going to struggle to make monthly recurring payments on. In other words, it should not be overwhelming debt. And preferably not from multiple sources. If you have debt on one place, like one credit card, then you're only paying one interest rate. If you do have multiple debts in multiple areas, different cards kind of thing, then you're paying a lot of different interest rates on that for a lot of different companies, and it's probably better at that point to just do debt consolidation. But if that's the case, then it's possible that you're taking on some bad debt as well. So just be careful with that and know that debt consolidation can really help you. It's something that I did when I got myself into $10,000 of debt. I'm a work in progress, but debt consolidation can really help you. And if you're not going to go down that route, paying off one each at a time, I like to do, and starting with the highest interest rate, because you're going to be paying the most in the long term if you're not tackling the highest interest rate. But paying off debt is probably a whole conversation on its own, and if you're taking on good debt solely, then you probably don't have much to worry about, especially if you're doing it safely and only taking as much debt as you can pay off safely and securely and comfortably. So be realistic with what debt you are taking on, even if it's a good debt. And be picky, be choosy. Ask yourself, is this debt realistic for me to pay off? How is this debt gonna help me in my own personal growth and my business growth? And how is that going to transform myself and my business in the long run? And when I'm talking about self-development, I'm talking about like master classes, education, that kind of thing, ebooks that are gonna teach you things. Lastly, I'm going to explain why good debt is good and not something that you should be scared about, whereas bad debt is something that you should definitely try to have zero bad debt. If you want something for yourself that is not an investment, make sure that you're saving money for it and buying any of those things with your own money, not borrowed money. But good debt doesn't have to be scary, and it can be very beneficial, because when you're investing your money into things that are going to improve your business and yourself to also improve your business, then you are just multiplying your revenue, your monthly income stream. And the more money that you can put aside into investments, the more that's just going to multiply. And of course you have to toe the line there, because you don't want to take on way too much debt. You still have to be realistic with how much debt you're taking on at any given point in time. But debt is going to massively help you improve your business by growth. And growth is the biggest thing that you want when it comes to your business. And of course, one of the biggest benefits of taking on some large investment purchases is, of course, drum roll please, tax write-offs. And of course, this is massive for when you're making more and more income every month. Why not take on a little bit more debt every month or year and put that all as tax write-offs, because you are investing all of those purchases into your business. So it is essentially a tax write-off, a tax deductible to what you owe the IRS. So that is awesome and a huge bonus to taking on good debt. So my main takeaways for this video are: stay away from bad debt. That's number one. Do not take bad debt on. If you want something, take it from your savings. And number two, good debt is not scary, and do take on good debt. But number three, be very realistic with what kind of debt you are taking on and how much. Set a bar for yourself and do not cross that, because you know best how much you can realistically pay off in monthly installments. By the way, guys, if you're putting business investments onto a credit card, you can pay off the interest too. So keep that in mind. None of that is coming out of your pocket. Well, it is, but you're getting the deductible at the end of the year or the quarter. So yeah, that is all about debt and investment debt, good debt, bad debt. I personally believe that there are good debt and bad debt options out there, and I've learned to grow comfortable with having good debt in comfortable lump sums. So as always, I hope you babes enjoyed this video. I hope you found it very informative. I hope you learned something. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe down to my YouTube channel, turning on that notification button down below, and I'll see you babes again really soon with another educational video to help you guys out as content creators, entrepreneurs, owning your own small business. Stay tuned. Bye for now. Till next time.